teaching teaching the people in general. If they come to temple and sometimes devotees, the sadhus, they ask them, please serve the Lord. Then they say, अगर हम आपकी सेवा करेंगे तो हमारा बीवी बच्चे कैसे चलेंगे, हमारा परिवार कैसे चलेगा. So somebody should be there to teach them कि बीवी बच्चों के साथ भी परिवार कैसे चल सकता है. So that is the role of the Grasta devotees. So the role of Grasta devotee is also very, very important, cannot be minimized at all. So they are like for the outside world, those who are fully ignorant people and who are attached. So how, otherwise they can't figure out, अरे आपने तो, आपके तो बीवी बच्चे हैं नहीं, आप तो भक्ति आराम से कर सकती हो, हम तो इतनी जिम्मेदारी हम कैसे करेंगे. तो उनको just to set an example for them, लोक संग्रह, Grasta devotees have a very major role to play to teach them how with even family life they can practice devotional service. Brahmacharis are also required, otherwise people will think that bhakti is a one part of life. There are many things in life and bhakti is also one of the things. But when they see the sadhus, then they understand that no, bhakti is not part of the life. In fact, life is a part of bhakti. Bhakti continues for many, many lifetimes, and this life is only a very short thing in that progression of bhakti. So both the ashramas are very, very important, and therefore everyone has his responsibility. Ultimately, it doesn't matter who is better, brahmachari is better or grahastha is better, which ashram is better, what is better, who has taken more ashray, he is better. It's not about ashram, it's about ashray. Who has taken shelter of Krishna more, he is the best. Can any brahmachari compare with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or any grahastha can compare with Bhakti Thakur? It's not the case. न बुद्धिभेदम जनियेद अज्ञानाम कर्म संगिनाम जोशियत सर्व कर्माणि विद्वान युक्तः समाचरः. Buddhiveda means just telling them that people sometimes out of great frustration come to temple. अरे मैं पत्नी के साथ, बच्चों के साथ मेरा जीवन बर्बाद हो गया है, मैं बहुत दुखी हूँ. If you just tell them, you just drop everything, join the temple. So that's already he's not able to handle in the home situation. How will you handle so much renounced lifestyle? So his buddhi will get bedam. Already he's not able to follow whatever he's doing, and what to talk of even elevated things. So he should not be told abruptly to give up the family life. Rather, he should be told to engage in the devotional service. आप जो भी आप कर रहे हैं, आप इतने दुखी इसलिए हैं क्योंकि आप भक्ति को जोड़े नहीं है जीवन में. उसको जोड़िए, बीवी बच्चों को मत छोड़िए, घर को मत छोड़िए, वहीं रहिए, थोड़ा सा उसमें भक्ति ऐड कर दीजिए. Like that, the Vidwan or the learned man should act also and teach him also, not teaching people to abruptly drop their families. प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा कर्ता हम इति मन्यते. So in two verses, one who is attached and ignorant and one who is detached and knowledge. These characteristics are mentioned. So one who is attached and one who is ignorant, what does he think? He has ignorance that I am the doer. Karta aham. I am the only doer. There is no other doer. Krishna is not playing any role in any of my life. That is the version of the ignorant. Tattvittu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayo guna guneshu vartanta iti matto na sajjate. So, on the other hand, one who is knowledgeable and intelligent, tattvit, he understands the divisions of guna and karma, and he understands that gunas are interacting with the modes. Iti matva na sajjati. So he does not become attached. He understands that things are going on, and okay. प्रकृते गुण सम्मूढ़ा सज्जन्ते गुण कर्मसु Tana Krishna Vido Mandan Krishna Vid Navichalayet. So those who are bewildered by the modes, they become attached and they do the activities in modes. And those who are not, they are not wise. Those who are intelligent, they should not uh, vichaliate. They should not bewilder them. Prabhupada is very important point here. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to performers' lack of knowledge. Those bewildered by the senses made of Prakriti are attached to the actions of body and senses. One who knows the soul does not disturb those foolish persons who do not know Atma. So Krishna is saying, don't disturb them. Better silently prosecute your devotees, duties. Hmm? Hmm. Hmm. What says it? Better to prosecute one's own spiritual duties silently. Those who are enlightened in spiritual life should not try to agitate surmultaneously and grasp persons. Then ahead he says they should be engaged in primary works like non-violence. Please give donation for some annadan, some peace work, some planting trees, some some beautification of the road, something like that. Later he says the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risk, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the acts of Krishna consciousness. So he's saying that we should build them. Krishna saying don't build them. Prabhupada saying build them. Because ultimately the purpose of the Lord is that living entity should go back to world. So Nityananda Prabhu went to Jagai and Madhai and said, please chant the holy name. So although he agitated, but ultimately they were delivered. So we should we should not give very heavy push to them. We should gently push them. Please take this book. It will be nice. If you don't push at all, then they will never take. And if you push too much, then they say, why you are pushing? Why you are, unnecessarily interfering in my life? So we should gently push. Yes. So Acharya give an example. Just like they are bewildered by ghost. So if one is possessed by ghost, he thinks himself a ghost. So Jiva, who is absorbed in his senses, he thinks I am the body. So he is like in a ghostly state now. One does not cure a man possessed of ghost even by instructing him even 100 times. You are a man, not a ghost. So if somebody goes to that person and says, Arey Baba, you are not a ghost, please understand, he will not understand. So what he should do? He should be engaged in the activities and by that he will get purified. मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्म चेतसः निराशी निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगत ज्वरः. It's a very important verse. Here Lord directly says, "My unto me, sarvani karmani, do all activities for my sake." Sannyas adhyatma chitsa. You just surrender all your activities to me. Nirashi nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva vigata jvaraha. Therefore, O Arjun, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight, offering all activities to me, being fixed in the soul, being without possessiveness or desire devoid of fever, fight. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. This is from founder Acharya. This verse indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Even if you understand only one sloka, that's complete. This verse indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. What is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in military discipline. When somebody joins the military, it's not very casual thing. Okay, let me join the military. The parents and the candidate himself have to sign a bond that Anything can happen to me. I may be sent in the wall field at any time, and I fully understand what's going to happen there, and I am ready for that. It's a very serious thing. Joining military is not something where हाँ ठीक है मन करेगा तो जाएंगे, नहीं करेगा तो नहीं जाएंगे. जी हमारा मन नहीं कर रहा, अभी हमें क्यों भेज रहे हैं जम्मू कश्मीर में, अभी तो कारगिल का लड़ाई हो रहा है. हाँ, हमें बुखार आ गया है यार, आज हम छुट्टी ले लेंगे. So such kind of casual things don't happen in military. That is what Prabhupada wants to say here. Bhakti is also not a very casual thing. If you approach it very casually, you will get very casual results, and casualty will happen with you. On the, like, you are in India Pakistan border, you are in Hussain Wala border, let us say, and you cannot be just walking around in your in 3/4 and t-shirt and oh yeah, let's chill out. They can shoot anytime and you will die. Similarly, you cannot take very casually. We are, you have read the lines, we are on war with Maya. So many places Prabhupada says chanting Hare Krishna or Krishna conscious movement means to declare war on Maya. Round the clock firing is happening both sides. So one should not take it very casually. That is one point Prabhupada wants to make out, that we have to like very focused, very serious about discharging duties in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Military discipline. In military, like you have to get up at 5 means you have to get up at 5. If you don't get up, then they can make you do many things. You may have to carry 50 kg load and you have to run 15 kilometers 3 times circle. So many things you can do. One time, one boy in NDA, this test, this paper, he wrote that I know swimming. So they put him in the swimming pool and they said jump. But he was not knowing swimming, so he was very fearful. He was not jumping. So behind the army man who was there, he kicked him with his boot in the like in the back, and this fellow he just fell in the swimming pool, and this thing what do you say, back, it like he died. It cried. So like that's like military discipline. What it means to be, when you say something, then you have to mean it. They already take in before signature. They take when Radheshampur was going to join is almost Air Force. So his parents also were like given to sign. Anything can happen. So they refused to sign, will not sign. So it didn't join the Air Force. So you have to be careful before joining. Then after that, anything can happen. And you have to obey the task. In fact, everyone is taught there that I surrender my life in the hands of my senior. Whatever he says. So that time, like some people ask also, "Hey, why you make people like they like not so much questioning or thinking is not there. They just have to say yes." When you say, after explaining everything, did you understand? Any question? If somebody raises a hand, he gets punishment. Why is there is question even after so much clear understanding? Then somebody asks you, why you do like this? Why you give training like this? He said on the war field, if like I have to say, 2 people come back, 3 people go ahead, fight, war, like that, guns are firing. That time I don't feel, I don't think it's not good to go ahead now. Or when he says, sit down, get up, anything they have to be ready to do. Big, this thing, very organized is required. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord. Because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjun was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord was his military commander. Yes, sir. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without leaving proper aggression. Arjun did not have to consider the order of the Lord, he had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetas. Nirashi means that one is to act on the order of the master, but should not expect fruitive results. Nirashi Prabhupada gives example of cashier. Cashier will count millions of dollars, but he will not say that this 100 at least belong to me. So we can earn so much money for the service of the Lord, so get so much money, but we do not claim anything is mine. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual, but everything belongs to the Supreme. That is the real purport of Mai. This concept is called Nirmamaha. Everything in the world, everything is Krishna's. Nirashi, I should not get any profit. Whatever I'm doing. Prabhuji, I brought 50 lakh funds. At least 1 lakh you should give to me now. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stern order, you should not say anything in mind. You should not demand some share, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in this bodily creation. Without consideration of so-called kinsmen. So relatives are called so-called. And how much consideration relatives should be given? Without consideration. There should be no consideration. What they will feel if I chant Hare Krishna. They may feel offended. They may feel not so good about it. Hell, what they feel. Without a so-called kinsmen in the moderation, reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vigata Juraha, or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such desires may be discharged in Krishna consciousness as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. So there are like 4 lines are there here. One line elevates one gradually. So Vigata Juraha, this feverishness, Jwara means fever. This is in mode of ignorance, lethargy. Don't be lazy to execute the order. Why to do it today? I will do it tomorrow. I'll do it after 100 years. What is the problem? So Vigata Jwara, one should give up laziness. And then Nirashi Nirmamo, not expecting some profit or claiming some proprietorship, that is in mode of passion. I have so many desires. I will do the service, but I have so many desires. You rise above passion. Sanyasya Dhyatma Chetasaha, rise even about spirituality or morality, that is in mode of goodness. Sannyas, you do that sannyas to that, whatever your adhyatma, religion. And then Mayi Sarvani Karmani, you do everything for Krishna, that is spirituality. 4 lines. Anyone can follow bhakti. Tamoguna person can follow. Rajoguna person can be elevated. Satoguna can be elevated. Anyone in any state of life can be elevated to the perfectional platform immediately if he does everything simply for Krishna. Somehow he developed the faith. Like Prabhupada saying, we should approach such men. And if that faith in the bhakti is given to a person, if he gets that faith, regardless of his position, is in tamoguna, rajoguna, satoguna, he can be elevated very quickly. Shipram bhavati dharma. Okay. So, offering all actions to me, Supreme Lord, just as servant offers everything. Sannyas, like that. Adhyatma Chetsa means conscious fixing Atma, rather than in material objects. Adhyatma Chetasa, don't think of material consideration, think about the Supreme Lord. You do this only by the order of your master. Nirashi means you do this because your master is telling. That's all. Devoid of possessiveness. Nirmama. Results of my action for me. Having given up the anguish arising from the thoughts of killing friends. Vigata Jora, Ari, I will kill them. What will happen? So, like these modes, when they attack, they don't attack like ordinary people attack. People say that uh, they show the gun. I am coming now. They will phone first, send WhatsApp. I am coming to your home. I'll bring a gun. Give all your money to me. Okay. The modes don't say like this. Directly, they will not come to you. I'm going to kill you. They don't come. How they come? Vikata Jwaraha, feverishness. One fever meaning is like you have got severe cold. You just don't do any activity. You're silently sitting and with blanket, 4 or 5 blankets, you are sitting in the, you are sleeping. That's Jwara. So in spiritual activity, you should not do Jwara, certainly. Another meaning of Jwara is feverish mentality. That you have heard the word maniac, mania, frenzy. Especially like World Cup is about to come, cricket World Cup is about to come. Sometimes our devotees also they become little carried over. Oh, yes, today's India Pakistan World Cup. What's going to happen? Like a whole wave comes. People are wearing caps, they are wearing t-shirts, and then I don't know whatever that nation flag they put in their cheeks or different, and so much frenzy. This is all around. Whole thing, cricket is our god, whatever, cricket is our religion, Sachin is our god. So many kinds of slogans they will do, and so much feverishness is created. And after some time, one thought or so, that totally vanishes. But when one is under the grip of such a maniac, then he forgets everything. Or let us say fashions. When certain fashion comes, bell bottom, or I don't know, whatever craziness. So many people are gripped by that. So Lord Krishna is advising the devotees, Vigata Jwaraha, don't be too much excited or too much disturbed when such kind of material fevers come up. So sometimes in Corona, some devotees, hour after hour, they are watching worldometers, how many cases have come, how many are infected, how many are not out, how many are not went back to pavilion. So time again, sometimes political elections are there, some issues are there, Tirupati Laddu or I don't know. So devotees may also become carried over in maniac. This is social disruptions, and so we should not we should be composed. And we got the Jora, focus on our duties. Yeah, focused. Just focus. And regarding focus, he says two more verses to emphasize mm, drive home the point of focus. ये मे मतम idam nityam अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो अनसूयन्तो मुञ्चन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः ये मे मदम idam nityam. Arjuna, it is not that I am telling you, you are the first one. I am telling you to do things for me. My instructions are eternal. Bhagavad Gita is eternal. In the next chapter, fourth chapter, Krishna will say, Evam vivasvate yogam proktavanaham avyayam vivaswan manavi praha manu ikshvakave bravid. So my mata or my instructions are eternal. Nityam is one word. Or you can apply to another place. Anutishtanti. Regularly, those who follow my teachings, my mat, shraddhavanto with faith, anusuyanto without envy, munchante tepi karma bhi, they will go back to what it. What we have to do? To simply follow what Lord is saying. Regularly, with faith, without envy, and you'll be freed. Very simple thing. It's simple. Let's see. It's not so simple. It's very simple for the simple. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow these teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive reaction. Only those who always follow my teachings with faith and without envy are free from the bondage of action. The injunction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the essence of all Vedic wisdom. and is therefore eternally true without exception. Hmm. There are many philosophers who write comments on the Bhagavad Gita, but I have no faith in Krishna. Hmm. Prabhupada says, hmm, an ordinary man, simple man, he's not very great, learned philosopher, not very great, learned, some achiever in some field, very ordinary devotee with firm faith. Person may be ordinary, but his faith should be very strong. If he's having firm faith in eternal injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated. Hare Krishna. What's going on here? What Prabhupada is saying, Shraddha means I have understood the teachings of the Lord. I have faith in those teachings. These teachings are correct. I am not able to follow, still I have faith in those teachings. These teachings are not wrong. I will become liberated. Without following the teaching, I will become liberated. How is it? Prabhupada explains. How is it? In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunctions of the Lord, but because one is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. He doesn't consider defeat or hopelessness. In following the orders of the Lord, he has faith in the orders of the Lord. And he doesn't, even if he is unable to execute, he doesn't consider defeat, that I'm defeated or I am a hopeless case. He doesn't feel like that and keeps working. That person will go back to God. Ordinary person. What does it mean? So we may be not be able to follow whatever teachings or the Supreme Lord and the Guru Parpara has given. Prabhupada says for Grasta, they should give 50% easy and mm, they should go to wife only for producing children. One may not be able to follow such stern instructions. Or brahmacharis, you have to not even dream of Mataji in a wrong way. One may not be able to follow such instructions. But one does not think that these instructions are impractical. Or I am hopeless. I cannot do them. Or daily morning program is very difficult, or it's impractical, or I just can't do it, just gives it up. If one does not do that, sincerely keeps on working, he will also go back to it. Even if he is not able to follow, please hear carefully. He is not able to follow, but he has faith in those instructions. Whatever Prabhupada is saying, these teachings are correct. And I keep on working without defeat or hopelessness. So one enemy is the laziness or this anarthas, kam, krodh, moh. But there is one more very big enemy which has come in the modern world, and that is guilt, feeling of hopelessness, insecurity, or hopelessness. So I'm not able to follow, therefore I'm not a good devotee, therefore maybe I'm not even qualified for bhakti, and maybe prematurely I have joined this movement and I'm not like others. I'm very weak in following the rules, and therefore I'm not qualified candidate for doing anything good. So that guilt which makes us think like that, I did some blunder, maybe serious or small, whatever, and then I think that okay, I get so much feeling of guilty, I'm useless, good for nothing, so let me go into sense gratification. So that is not going to elevate one, that is going to drop one again back into sense in the material world. On the other hand, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, these Acharya they pray Amar Jivan Sada Papirat. But you will find very soon in the song, only after 4 or 5 lines, therefore I take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Also they state in the beginning, Amar Jivan Sada Papirat. But in that, you say that, let me take shelter of the Lord. A very brief, like grief or feeling of hopelessness, very brief. I am good for nothing. Therefore, let me surrender even more. That's good. Like that's good guilt or good feeling of regret. You understand? On the other hand, oh, it's like one is like tree which is cut from below the root, and then the root is just holding a Prabhu, 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 Haribol. Just leave me, leave me. I am gone. I am gone. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. No, no. So such feelings should not arise. That is the purport of this verse. Because in the above verse, Lord told that things have to be done as if in a military discipline. Everyone not may not be ready for that stern order, but still he is faithful. And Anasuyanto is one more explanation required. Anasuyanto means he doesn't ask so too many questions. Arjun did not say to Krishna, first give me 50 reasons why should I fight. He did not ask Krishna to do that. Krishna don't fight. Okay, that is the meaning of without envy. Don't keep on questioning. Just have a little faith, you know. So like we should have some faith and just one, two questions you ask, but all the time, something is told. See, what this, then what that, then what this, then what that. Then Arjun will ask, what about Jayadratha? Then what about Duryodhan? Then what about Abhimanyu? So many questions, so many relatives will bring. So Krishna's head will also crack. What is this fellow is doing? Next time I'll bring another fellow to act in the role. Bhagavad Gita, this fellow is not fit candidate. Therefore, drama are played by eternal associates. In this verse, the Lord speaks to encourage people to take up teachings. Those who follow my teachings, and even those who cannot follow but have faith, and also do not disrespect the teachings. That's anasuyanto. So never disrespect the teachings. Don't try to change the standard. Try to work on yourself to try to come up to the standard. Even they can be free from bondage of action. Even though at present time they cannot follow, by faith in the teachings and lack of envy, their obstacles decrease. Little later performed because Lord also Lord is also called Bhavgrahi. He is pleased by when we do things rightly, but he is also pleased if we have good intentions to do it, although we are unable to do it. He is also pleased that he is Bhavgrahi. That's the meaning of saying Bhavgrahi. You understand? Bhavgrahi does not mean that whenever Bhav comes to me, then I will do bhakti. Bhav means I understand whatever Lord wants me to do. And I'm trying sincerely. Even if I'm failing, He will accept my Bhav. That is the meaning of saying Bhav Gurai Janardhan. So He is pleased by my actions, intentions. And if my intentions are good, He will grant purification. And then because of purification, then I'll be able to follow. Then I'll get satisfaction. And then everything will be important. Yeah. Think over these teachings and you can try to apply in your lives. ये तो एतत् अभ्यसूयन्तो न तु तिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञानं विमूढांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान् अचेतसः. So when Lord tells about positive, tells about negative also. ये तु एतत् अभ्यसूयन्तो, who out of envy न अनुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम्, they reject my teachings. Krishna is telling bogus things. He is not telling correct. ये तो एतत् अभ्यसूयन्तो नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञान विमूढ़ा. All their knowledge will be defeated. Despite all their knowledge, everything will be defeated. Vidhi nashtan achetasa, and they'll become Krishna unconscious. So if one envies the spiritual master and with Supreme Lord, then he becomes Krishna unconscious. Very graphic example of Ramchandra Puri. He disregarded the instructions of his spiritual master. He thought his spiritual master is bogus. He can instruct him better. Therefore, Sarvagyan, he was a very learned person. He was a sannyasi. He was a disciple of the great Madhavendra Puri. He was associating with him for last 40 years. With a pure devotee of the caliber of Madhavendra Puri was associated. But he became envious and he disregarded the teachings of his guru. On the other hand, Ishwar Puri also 40 years with Madhavendra Puri. And he was very submissive. And he got Supreme Lord as his disciple due to his being faith in his spiritual master. Vidhinashtana chetasaha. So, so here Lord wants to point out, without faith in the Lord, without devotional service, you will not be able to remain neutral, a good person in this material world. If you don't surrender to the Lord, you will not remain a good person. The modes will pull you, and till hell they will pull you. But those who, out of envy, disregard these teachings, do not follow them regularly, are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. But know that those who devoid of all knowledge, devoid of proper consciousness, and hostile to this teaching do not follow it are lost. The flaw of not being Krishna conscious is clearly stated here. Flaw of not being Krishna. Prabhuji, I will not do bhakti. Okay, if you don't do bhakti, then you will get this. You will be lost in this material world. As there is punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Executive Head, there is certainly punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Presiding Body. Just as a judge is there, if he is not coming to the court, do you know he can be put in jail. Trial will happen on him. He is just not coming to the court, that's all. He is supposed to come. Policeman, his duty is there on some particular field. He didn't turn up. He can be put in jail. Similarly, so Krishna consciousness is not an option. That's the point here. People think it's a voluntarily. You like, you do it. It's not voluntarily. Sorry. Not voluntarily. A disobedient person, however great he may be, is ignorant. So he'll never realize the soul and the Supreme Lord due to vacant heart. Therefore, there is no hope of perfection for life for him. That means somebody gives up bhakti, then how much hope is there for him? Nothing. How much hope is there? Nothing. If he commits great crimes also, api chet sudurachar. But if he does not give up bhakti, there is all hope for him. Shipram bhavat api chet sudarat bhajte maamne sadhure. You consider him saintly person. He is properly situated. But if somebody does not take up bhakti or gives up bhakti due to whatever reasons, due to guilt or due to commit some plunder, due to just mind going berserk, he's lost. There is no hope for him. Hare Krishna. It's a very strong statement, but what to do? That's the statement of the Supreme Lord, and we have to speak as it is. Please forgive me. In this verse, the Lord, if he speaks of the bad effects of doing the opposite, they are ignorant, vimudha, of the knowledge that everything is done for the Supreme Lord. Note that they are lost. So many of the atheistic philosophers of the last century, they became mad. At the end of life, actually, even Hitler became mad. He just committed suicide. Even Aurangzeb became berserk in the end of the life. Just, what have I done? Is something right like that? Where like, oh now. So now Arjun may say, Hare Krishna, what are you saying? How can they disregard your teachings? Like, how can somebody disregard the government's teachings? Like government's rules, how can somebody break? You are the supreme king. You are the supreme government. How they can break your laws? You have enacted the laws, they must follow. If they don't follow, they will get punished. Krishna says, Arjun, that's correct. If they don't follow my laws, they will get punished. If still they will not follow. What is the reason they will not follow? The reason is told here. Like they know if I break the law, I will get punishment. But they will not be able to stop themselves from breaking the law if they don't practice devotional service. Why? The reason is stated in the next verse. Please understand the next verse very carefully. It can be misunderstood. Because they have a particular nature. Sadrasham cheshtate swasyat prakrte jnanavanapi prakartim yanti bhutani निग्रहः किं करिष्यति सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्यात् प्रकृति ज्ञानवान even if a person is learned he will act according to his own nature everyone acts according to his own nature what can repression accomplish निग्रह किम करिष्यति सप्रेस करने से क्या होने वाला है जो ज्ञानवान व्यक्ति है वो भी अपने स्वभाव के अनुसार ही काम करता है इफ he is not doing krishna consciousness if he is not doing krishna consciousness he has accumulated some impressions some vasanas from previous lives those vasanas will impel him to act in wrong ways and thereby he'll get punished that is the meaning सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्यात् प्रकृतेर्ज्ञानवानपि प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि निग्रहः किं करिष्यति even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature for everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes what can accomplish even the man even if you say like modern society even if if somebody rapes he will be hanged till death even if you pass a law if one is regularly watching dirty things online he will not be able to control himself nigraha kim karishyati he will not be able to control what can the laws what even the man of knowledge of scriptures acts according to his desire all men act according to their desires what can instruction or threat of punishment accomplish what can IPC accomplish so many laws are coming child abuse this that are they reducing they cannot reduce because the Bollywood and so many dirty things are going without censored and how can they are storing some impressions in the mind they must come out how can they stop themselves unless one is situated on the transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness he cannot get free from the influence of the modes of material nature 7.14 Devi Hiesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Therefore, even for the most highly educated person on the mundane plane, it is impossible to get out of the entanglement of Maya simply by theoretical knowledge. If one simply has theoretical knowledge, I am not the body, I am the soul, but he, or separating the soul from the body, but he does not do any devotional service, that's not going to help him. It's not going to help him at all. There are many so-called spiritualists who outwardly pose as advanced in the science, but inwardly or privately are completely under modes of nature which are unable to surpass. So either they may not outwardly show, but they have inward dirty contemplation, or they may not show in public, but privately they express their lower nature. Academically, one may be very learned, but because of his long association with material nature, he's in bondage. So bondage also comes due to the vasanas which we have stored. Every one of us having so many deep sanskaras. Krishna consciousness helps one to get out of material entanglement, even though one will be engaged in his prescribed duties in terms of material existence. Therefore, without being fully Krishna consciousness, one should not give up his occupational duties. No one should suddenly give up prescribed duties and become a so-called yogi or transcendental artificial. It is better to be situated in one's position and try to attain Krishna consciousness under severe training. Thus, one will be freed from the clutches of Maya. So, first thing here is that if one is not doing bhakti, then one cannot control his lower nature first. Now, there are two things, there are two separate things that we are going to discuss now. There is something called material. I just tell you, even the person who knows the punishments in the scriptures acts according to his evil nature, his sinful impressions which have been produced during his time. For a person devoid of association of saintly person, even if he has knowledge of scripture, what can punishment accomplish? If he is not having association of devotees, he has no hope. अहो अदो दुस्संगमुत्सृज्य सत्सु सज्जेषु बुद्धिमान् संत एवासि चिन्तन्ति मनो व्यसंग उक्तिभिः. So there is something called prakriti, there is something called vasana. Hear carefully. Prakriti and vasana. So prakriti is the psychophysical nature which we have due to the contact of the soul with a particular body. Vasana is a sinful tendency. Prakriti can be dovetailed in the service of the Lord. Vasana cannot be dovetailed in the service of the Lord. Vasana has to be given up. Prakriti has to be dovetailed. If you try to suppress Prakriti, then you will fail. This is also one point which Krishna is making. What does it mean? Some organizations, they misuse these words. 1/4 of the shloka. There is one Bhagavan Rajneesh. So they say Nigra Kim Karish. So you have desire and whatever desires you have, express it. अंदर के शैतान को जगाओ. अब दबाने की क्यों कोशिश कर रहे? संभोग से समाधि. So they have that distorted philosophy. But that's not what Lord Krishna is talking about here. Nigraha Kim Krishnati. Whatever you feel like, you just do it. Don't suppress it. It will not work. It's not like that. Vasana has to be suppressed. And just after 3 verses, starting from verse 36, Krishna will tell that kill the lust. Jahi Shatrum Mahabahu. So then that does not refer to that Vasana. However, it refers to Prakriti. Now, what is Prakriti? Prakriti is our psychophysical nature. Therefore, 4 varnas are made according to the psychophysical nature. Brahmanas are generally they are more intellectually oriented. They have a deep taste for shastras, contemplation. They are very peaceful. They don't demand many things. Kshatriyas are of a like activity oriented. They they need so many activities should go on, and they need some control. They want to dominate. They want to they have Ishwar Bhav. They want to fight. They want to defeat. Such kind of propensities are there. And Vaishyas, they without money they will die. One person, Prabhupada gives an example. C.R. Das, I think he was. So he was in the Britishers had employed him, and he was getting very high salary that time, 50,000 before independence. So when this Congress became like that whatever that quit Britishers movement was happening. So this Congress they advised him, C.R. Das, that you give up the government job. So under pressure, he had to resign from that Britisher's job, and he was getting rupees 2,000 per month. Prabhupada says within 3 months he died. Not because of lack of money or lack of hunger, but because of the grief. He could not tolerate that. Now I cannot, my salary from 50,000 has become 2,000. So Vaishyas, they need money and they need materials and they like want to set up the big enterprise. And similarly, so Lord Krishna is saying, Arjun, you have a Kshatriya nature. Don't try to suppress it and try to artificially become a Brahmana. Even if you go to the forest and try to become a Brahmana, a sannyasi, and if you beg from someone, please give me charity. Somebody does not give Brahmana's psychophysical nature, he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind. It's okay for him. But if they don't give you, it's not that you will not mind. You will take off your sword. You rascal, how dare you? And then what will happen is you will do greater dharma. So if you give up doubting whatever psychophysical nature you have, you will end up in bigger trouble. You will end up in bigger trouble. 2 verses after that, he will tell the same point again, that we should act according to our psychophysical nature. Anyways, now is Kali Yuga going on. Don't ask me question, Prabhuji, what is my nature? That will again become a very endless topic. That's not required for us to figure out. Whatever, you can just understand, we should be internally comfortable in doing something, and externally we should be competent. Some people they have that virya ras kind of thing, and they like, when like they like to fight some people. Yeah, when that fighting is going on, or like arguments are going on, they get a lot of energy. If arguments are not happening, they're like, or their department, they're not getting so much money, they feel, oh, their hands are itching, and they are not able to, they feel some kind of incompleteness. So different people have different natures, and we should be internally comfortable in doing whatever we are doing, and externally competent. And dovetailing that in Krishna service, we all can go back to God. It doesn't mean what we are doing. We can do anything which we have that. So that don't suppress that also. Don't simply keep on saying whatever seniors tell me, I will do that, and repressing my nature. So long you cannot sustain like that. You will burst. You know, my seniors are telling join brahmachari ashram, so I should join. Although it's a big struggle every day. Oh, so that's not going to sustain. Pressure cooker, just you push the lid. Don't come up. Don't come up. After some time, will blast. Similarly, whatever we have to. mm, So what we have to better to be suited in one's position and try to attain Krishna consciousness under superior training. mm, Become a so-called transcendental, artificially giving up prescribed duties. So everyone has prescribed duties. You should follow them. Mm, Yeah. Okay. Just start this verse. It's a very important verse. Please try to understand it carefully. This verse will lead to something much deeper. इन्द्रियस्यान्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषाविवस्थितो तयोर्न वशमागच्छेत् तयो हि अस्या परिपन्थिनो. So why this Arjun may ask, why this thing, why this impellation comes, don't try to repress. So Lord says here the difficulty is that indriyasyarthi, in the senses, and the indriya artha, or the sense objects, there is situated rag and dvesh. So when senses come in contact with sense objects, there is sometimes rag, there is sometimes dvesh. It is situated in the senses when they come in contact with the sense objects. Tayor navasham agachi. Don't come under the control of such rag and dvesh. Tau hi asya paripanthino. This rag and dvesh are like thieves on the path. Panthi is the path. Pari means thief. So rag and dvesh are thieves. That means what? If you come under the control of rag and dvesh, the rag and dvesh will steal. What will they steal? The rag and dvesh will steal, Arjun, your Krishna consciousness. Senses have a natural rag and dvesh when coming in contact with sense objects. Don't come under control, because this rag and dvesh are the thieves on the path of spiritual realization. There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling blocks in the path of self-realization. Attachment and repulsion are firmly fixed in each of the sense objects. One should not come under control of attachment and repulsion. They are the two obstacles. Those who are in Krishna consciousness are naturally reluctant to engage in material sense gratification. But those who are not in such consciousness should follow the rules and regulations of the revealed scriptures. Unrestricted sense enjoyment is the cause of material entanglement. But one who follows rules and regulations of revealed scripture does not become entangled by sense objects. So wherever there is unrestrictedness, we will end up in material world. For example, sex enjoyment is a necessity for the conditioned soul, and sex enjoyment is allowed under the license of marriage ties. According to scriptural injunctions, One is forbidden to engage in sex relationship with any woman other than one's wife. All other women are to be considered as one's mother, but in spite of such injunction, man is still inclined to have sex with other women. That is called rag. Rag means uh, uh, one is married, but one wants to like touch bodies or look or stare or fantasize other women's. Rag. These propensities are to be curbed. That rag has to be curbed. You have to. Mm, Otherwise, they will be stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. As long as the material body is there, the necessities of the material body are allowed, but under rules and regulations. And yet, we should not rely on the control of such allowances. Mm. Okay. So rag means attachment for what is forbidden by the scriptures, such as giving gifts to others' wives, seeing or touching their bodies. Dvesh. What is prescribed by the scriptures? We don't want to do that. Distributing gifts to serving, seeing, and touching the Guru, Brahmanas, the holy places, and visitors. That's Dvesh. Okay, dear devotees, time is up. We'll continue with this verse next time. Any questions, devotees, if you have, and take for a while. Okay, any question, anyone? If you want, you can leave also. Time is already up. Okay, sir. So thank you so much for everyone. Okay, Surya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Then Pranam Surya
Uh,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji, you were telling about the difference between Prakriti and Vasana. Can you please explain that again? If
Okay, let me tell you again. So Vasana is a sinful desire which cannot be doubted in the service of the Lord. You have desire for a woman other than your wife that cannot be doubted in the service of the Lord. That's Vasana. But Prakriti means I have a Kshatriya nature. I want to control, I want to dominate, I want to manage. That can be developed in the service of the Lord. You can become temple president. You can manage some boys. You have a tendency to become a Vaishya. You want to earn a lot of money. You can do that and give the money to Krishna. You understand? Psychophysical nature. That has to be doubted. But Vasana, sinful desires, they cannot be doubted. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Akash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Bolo businesses. Prabhuji, as you told that if anyone have this faith on the process of Krishna consciousness, but if he is not able to follow, then also he will be liberated. But Prabhuji, in practically, if we see we are not able to follow, then our mind cheats. वो बोलता है चले ही जाओ यार, तुम्हारा कोई फायदा नहीं है, और दूसरों को भी देख के आता है वो अच्छे से कर रहा है, तो वो फेथ भी नहीं रह जाता है. तो हाउ टू कम आउट ऑफ दिस टेंडेंसीज.
इसलिए प्रभु जी बताया गया है ना तत् विधि. ये जो प्रोसेस समझने के लिए गुरु के पास आपको जाना. गुह्यम आख्याति पृच्छति श्लोक तीनों में से सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट. ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति. प्रभु जी आपको बर्थडे में गिफ्ट दे दें, चलो ठीक है. घूमते पूरे साथ में बैठ के प्रसाद खाते, आओ प्रभु जी केक खिलाते आओ. ये सब तो बीच वाले के लिए करने के लिए है. गुह्यम आख्याति पृच्छति हो रहा है तो ठीक है, बाकी दो नहीं भी हो तो चलेगा. वो दोनों सपोर्ट करने के लिए, उसको इनहेंस करने के लिए. वो बीच वाला ही गायब कर दिया तो मतलब चॉकलेट खा लिया, बीच का मेडिसिन नहीं. इसलिए आपको बार बार हमको डिवोटिस के गाइडेंस में करना. यही कारण है, क्योंकि हमारा माइंड बहुत सारी फीलिंग्स देता है. हमें बड़े खतरनाक मतलब फंसे हुए हैं मटीरियल. भाई नंद तनुज किंकरम पतितम माम विषमे भवाम बुधो. लॉर्ड चैतन्य इज ऑल्सो एक्सप्रेसिंग और एक्नॉलेजिंग द फैक्ट. कृपया आप मुझे एलिवेट कर दीजिए. कई बार डिवोटी ये भी कहते हैं प्रार्थना कैसे करूं. इन सबों में जब फंस जाते हो तो गजेंद्र ने क्या किया था, द्रौपदी देवी ने क्या किया था, कैसे उनको प्रार्थना आ गई अचानक से. प्रैक्टिस करते रहे होंगे. यस, ऐसे ही हमको जब भी ऐसे फंस जाएं तो आप देखेंगे, अगर आप सिंसियरली सेंटर लेंगे किसी प्रोसेस का, किसी भी प्रोसेस का, किसी वैष्णव को याद करेंगे, या किसी होली नेम को लगातार चैंटिंग करेंगे आप, ऐसे कंडीशन में समहाउ अगर आप कर सकें, या लॉन्ग टाइम तक आप भागवतम सुनेंगे, आप देखिए एकदम आप बाहर आ जाएंगे। एक डिवोटी है भक्ति बृहद भागवत स्वामी महाराज, पहले उनका नाम तो बृहद मृदंग प्रभु। हम्म, हम्म। तो वो एक स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर एक्सेप्ट किए थे, वो चले गए कृष्ण को छोड़। बहुत बड़ा झटका होता है। उसके बाद दूसरा उन्होंने स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर एक्सेप्ट किया, वो भी कृष्ण कॉन्शियस फॉल डाउन हो। तो वो तो ये क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ, तो बताया मैं इतना वो हो गया। तो उन्होंने अपने आप को एक रूम में लॉक कर दिया और लगातार 2 साल तक प्रोपात बुक्स पढ़ते रहे। सारी प्रोपात बुक्स वो पढ़ते रहे 2 साल तक लगातार। कैन इमेजिन डिटर्मिनेशन। उसके बाद बाहर आए, यस, दोबारा खड़े हो गए। फिर उन्होंने गिरिराज स्वामी महाराज जी को स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर एक्सेप्ट किया, और अब तो देख ही रहे हो आप।
हाँ, हरे कृष्णा मुझे।
एक मिनट है, हाँ हाँ, यू वांट टू से समथिंग?
Yes, brother, many devotees have to leave for their office. Some announcements are there I need to do. Can I do?
प्लीज।
So this is regarding open book questions, like the section of Sthit Pragya section in Bhagavad Gita 54 to 72, page second chapter. The open book questions is related to that section only. So it will be completed in your Dasara camp. Chaitan Charan Prabhuji will be taking this section. So after completion of this section, you all can write your answers. You will be getting 1 week time after the Dashara camp, and then you can submit in the last of that week. I will be sharing one link, in that you can submit, and in the last of the week only your closed book test will happen. Is that clear to all of you? Means any doubt, so you can ask me now only, because many people have this doubt. So is it clear? Means after
Can you
1 week of the Sarah camp, it will be happening, all open book test and closed book test. Yes, Praji, you can continue.
no, I was having this doubt only that both like open book test and the closed book test will be happen after the Dashera camp, 1 week after the Dashera.
Yes, but after the Dashera camp, you can answer. You can write your answers, and link will be shared to submit this open book questions. And in the last of the same week, close book test will happen.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhuji.
ओके, सो आई
Hare
होप
Krishna,
आकाश,
Prabhu. Prabhuji,
आकाश, just a minute, Akash, you are okay with that?
Yes, Prajesh, it's done. You can continue.
Yes, Pradeep. Pradeep, another question was there, जैसे अभी लास्ट में आपने राग एंड द्वेष का बताया, तो
हाँ हाँ,
ये हम अभी कंटिन्यू करेंगे या नहीं? अगर नहीं तो
नहीं
थोड़ा और
नहीं,
इलेबोरेट कर सकते हैं।
हम इसको बहुत इलेबोरेट करेंगे, थोड़ा नहीं। इसमें बहुत कुछ है इसमें।
ओके
ठीक है,
प्रदीप, थैंक यू प्रदीप, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू। यस, अमन प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा धन्यवाद प्रभु। तो जी
हेलो प्रभु।
ये कृष्ण कॉन्शियस पर्सन का नेचर नहीं रहता क्या ऐसा?
हैं?
मुझे तो लगता है मतलब कि कृष्ण कॉन्शियस पर्सन का भी मतलब कोई एक पर्टिकुलर नेचर रहता है, बेसिकली मैं ठीक है।
हाँ, तो अब मना कब कर रहे हैं, आपको नेचर नहीं रहता? हाँ,
नहीं तो उसका
जब फुल्ली कृष्ण कॉन्शियस आप बन जाते हो, तब
हम्म।
तब आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। जैसे जो बहुत एलिवेटेड लोग हैं, जैसे जो विश्वामित्र मुनि है, वो क्या कहते हैं, ब्राह्मण बन सके बहुत मेहनत के बाद। 4,500 साल तक। और जो परशुराम है, वो क्षत्रिय की तरह एक्टिंग किए बहुत साल बाद, मतलब ही इज द शक्तियावश अवतार। बट अदरवाइज जो द्रोण है, उनका क्रिटिसिज्म किया जाता है, आपने क्षत्रिय की तरह एक्ट किया। सो कृष्ण कॉन्शियस जो फुली बन जाते हैं तो, बट अदरवाइज नेचर रहता है। साधारण भक्ति में तो पक्का रहता है। साधक भक्त तो नहीं कह सकते कि मेरा कोई स्वभाव से मैं ऊपर उठ गया। ठीक है, ओके। रामदेव प्रो राइटिंग।
Prabhuji,
हाँ हाँ, यस, से
yes, Prabhuji, I have written in chat only because Prabhuji, currently I'm in train, so that's why I'm not able to speak. That's why I have written in chat only.
in stating Krishna is starting, Krishna is telling Krishna coach like military training. He's telling don't suppress your nature. How to understand training also, and so training means training in Krishna consciousness. Like you have a Vaishya nature, you earn money, but training means you give money to Krishna. That is the training. You are a Kshatriya nature. You fight, but you fight for Krishna. That is the training. Whatever you can do, you learn to do only for Krishna. That is the training. What is training mean? What do you think?
No,
Okay.
Pradeep, like in that sloka you have told, Pradeep, in that sloka you have told like ki, in starting we should just follow like whatever like military training is like whatever order we should follow. Yes, yes, yes. Like this we have to tell. So and then further like this is coming ki if anyone will do like you have given example of C.R. Das ki if he will go against his nature, so then he will suffer. Like he can't do only. So Pradeep, how this I'm not able to understand.
Yeah, yeah. So when one joins the PDC, let us say, so first everyone is told to do everything, and then gradually after some years we come to know इसको क्या अच्छा लगता है, which service he likes more, because he will naturally go for that. Somebody has a different taste, and then we engage them there. In there, how we'll go come to know. Initially, everyone is instructed in everything. Gradually, under guidance, that's what Prabhupada said. Guru keeps on observing. He has more inclination there, he'll be more fit there. Otherwise, he'll be miserable. Okay. Okay, devotees then.
Thank you, Pradeep.
Shekhar, Prabhu. Other devotees can leave if you want. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Humble obeisance.
कि प्रजा बड़ा जैसे भगवान को लोग मतलब भावग्राही जनार्दन कहते हैं। तो बहुत सारे लोग इसका मिस इंटरप्रिटेशन बना देते हैं कि कुछ भी करते हैं तो उसको कहते हैं भगवान तो भाव देखते हैं। तो एक बार आप फिर से मतलब उसको बता दीजिए कि भावग्राही जनार्दन का क्या मतलब, और ऐसे मतलब कुछ भी करने को फिर कहते हैं कि भाव भगवान एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, तो उनको कैसे एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं?
भाव तो नहीं, कुछ भी करते हैं उसको भगवान एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे, इसका मतलब ये नहीं। इसका मतलब ये है कि हम भगवान की बात मानने में प्रयास कर रहे हैं और विफल भी हो रहा है तो भी भगवान हमारा भाव स्वीकार कर लेते हैं। भगवान की बात मानने में हम प्रयास करने में विफल हो जाते हैं तो भी भगवान हमारा भाव स्वीकार करके हमें और शक्ति दे देते हैं। ये भावग्राही जनार्दन का मतलब। अदरवाइज तो ऊपर मिलिट्री डिसिप्लिन भी कहा गया था, राइट? लेथार्जी छोड़ो, आलसपन छोड़ दो। ओके, स्टर्न ऑर्डर। थैंक यू। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? Okay, fine. So thank you devotees for a valuable time. Let's meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhyo cha pattanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.